Hello, welcome back to the conservatory. Another Monday morning, if you're watching this live. I was trying to get the sun right, but hopefully you can see me okay. So if you are watching this live and in the UK, you'll know we're right in the middle of a heat wave at the moment. And 9:30, it's already hot. And hi Kathy, lovely to see you. So this morning is another one of those mornings when actually I've been rushing around. And if it wasn't for this practice and for this commitment I've made to you, there's no way I'd be sitting down to meditate right now. I'm out for the day. I have a regular appointment that I travel to most months, so I'll be driving. And usually I take Muppet with me, but today it's too hot, even though, anyway, I've made the decision it's just not fair on her to take her. It's not appropriate to walk with the dog in the middle of the day in this heat. So 5 minutes ago, my mother arrived to take Muppet over to theirs for the day. I've just finished my breakfast. So all of this to say that, however it may look, my head is still spinning and buzzing and getting on with things. But I'm here, so it's a really good thing to do. And there's a great phrase about, or saying about, you should meditate 20 minutes a day. And if you don't have time to meditate 20 minutes a day, you should meditate for an hour. Because it is this process of stepping out and pausing that allows everything to come into clarity. And actually, and I am telling myself this as much as I'm sharing it with you, taking that time usually makes everything else run so much more smoothly that it's worth the doing. But that wasn't what I was going to talk about today, so I'm going to come back to what I was already thinking about, which is a walk I took last night. So, as I said, as you may well be experiencing yourself, it is very, very hot here. And as I mentioned, it's not appropriate to walk a dog in the middle of the day in this heat. And I'm not very good at walking in the morning because, although I get up reasonably early, I have so many other things I try and do first thing in the morning that walking isn't one of them. So last night yesterday I decided I'd walk Muppet in the evening. And again, things went a little bit later than planned, and we eventually set off at about 8:30 last night. And I had forgotten that we are now some 7 weeks past solstice. It may still be the height of summer, but the evenings are less long than they were a couple of months ago. And despite the fact that I spent the first 20 minutes of my walk admiring and taking photographs of the beautiful sunset as it evolved and rolled across the sky, I didn't follow that train of thought through to the fact that it meant I had about 30 minutes of daylight left. And because I was having an enjoyable walk, I went for a longer version. And so at a point where there was no point turning back because I was already beyond halfway, I realised it was really getting quite dark. And it was an interesting experience because, it's the 21st century. I had a phone with me, so I did have a torch, effectively. I was not dressed appropriately to be walking in the dark. I was very aware. I didn't have very much time to walk on a road anyway, so it wasn't. But the little bits I did have to walk on the road, I was very aware that a car would be highly unlikely to see me, so I was super careful at that point. But leaving aside real practicalities like that, I had an opportunity to think about it because I had two options. I could get scared that I was walking in the dark with, late at night. Relatively late at night, or I could choose to look on it as an adventure. And I had the bonus of the fact that the walk I was doing, I know like the back of my hand, thanks to lockdown, because during lockdown I walked that walk multiple times a week and parts of it virtually every day. And so I chose to look on the experience as an adventure and as quite exciting. And as it got darker, there were a couple of points where I did pull my phone out and switch the torch on just to make sure that I could see what was happening underfoot. But most of the time I found I was actually pretty confident to keep walking, trusting that as long as this footstep was okay, the next one would follow. And it was a really enjoyable experience. I came home. By the time I got home, it was definitely dark. The last 10 minutes or so, had I not reached street lamp territory at that point, I would have been using my torch. But I came home with a real feeling of exhilaration. I'd done something different. But I was very aware of how easy it might have been to slip into fear, and it could have been a very different experience. And I just found it a helpful story to share this morning. And it's been useful for me too, because I'm about to start another new project, which is something that I'm quite excited about. It's something that is not, this isn't a teaser from a business point of view at all. This is genuinely something for myself, which is not directly related to my work, but it's something that I'm stepping into. And it was a good reminder that anything new, we have the opportunity to choose whether it's something to be afraid of or something to be excited about and treat as a new adventure. So I invite you today, if anything has come up for you while I'm talking, or if anything comes up now that you may be a little bit anxious about, a little bit nervous about, or that you're considering stepping into something new, to make that same choice. Fear or adventure. And if you are starting something new, then I really invite you to treat it as an adventure, whatever it may be, and open up to all the new experiences it can bring. Because as I discovered last night, you can walk a path you know really well, and in different circumstances it can be very different, and it can bring you a whole new range of experiences. So now I invite you, as always, to let all my words just go, and if anything comes up as a result of them, that's fine, but just release them, let them rest. If they had a message for you, that has gone in. And whether you're already aware of it or it's something that pops into your head at a later point, it doesn't matter. But for now, let it go. Find your feet. Reconnect your feet to the ground. As your feet connect to the ground, however you're sitting, can you find that connection from your feet to your sitting bones, so that your pelvis rests into the ground, into the seat, onto whatever you're resting it on, and your spine can release. Maybe find there's an instinctive little lift in the spine. The shoulders relax, the shoulder blades rest down the back. If they haven't already done so, let your eyes close gently, or simply lower your gaze and just softly focus. And check in with your head. Does it feel as if you're holding it up? Can you allow it to simply rest on the top of your spine like a tennis ball on an empty loo roll tube? And scan your facial features, the features of your head. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding tension. Are your eyes relaxed? Your cheeks, your brow, your chin, your jaw. Are you holding or clenching your jaw? And if so, can you allow it to simply soften? Maybe a bit of space between your teeth. Your tongue resting loosely in your mouth. You could even give your ears permission to relax. And then bring your awareness to your breath and simply be with what is in your body today, now. And whenever you get distracted by a sound, a thought, a sensation in your body, take the opportunity to come back to your feet, reconnect, re-engage, and release that thought as you bring your awareness back to your own breath. Letting the breath come and go at its own easy pace, quietly, steadily. And noticing maybe where in your body you're most aware of its presence. And each time your mind wanders and you become aware of that fact, bring your awareness back to your body, to your feet. Notice if your body has slumped a little, lost its sense of connection to the ground. And simply drop back into your feet, into your sitting bones, giving your spine that freedom, that permission to find its own movement, its own space. And maybe that process in itself encourages the breath to come a little more deeply. You may find it expresses itself in a sigh or a yawn, and that's absolutely fine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for keeping me accountable and making sure that I stopped for a few minutes before I get out and get on with my busy day. I hope you have a wonderful week, and if you would like a bit more time and space to ground and centre yourself, please check out my first ever outdoor workshop, which is happening next Saturday near Petersfield. Information on my blended therapy page. I look forward to seeing you there or here or somewhere else. Take care.